Greetings. I'm Gabby DeLisme with Facing Finances, and you're watching Let's Talk Credit Scores. This is what I like to call the FICO edition. Good credit is vital in accomplishing many of our goals, but oftentimes we don't know what factors go into obtaining good credit and the habits that are needed to maintain that credit. In this video, we will delve into some topics that are going to leave you with an understanding of what FICO is, what goes into your credit scores, and why you have different credit scores. All right, let's get into it. FICO, FICO. It stands for Fair Isaac Corporation, and I'll give you a moment to read this long sentence and then I'll summarize it for you. Okay, so the Fair Isaac Corporation is basically a company that analyzes data to compute the riskiness of lending you money. The big takeaway here is to know that 90% of top lenders use FICO scores when determining whether or not you will be approved for that loan that you're thinking about. And this also includes insurance companies and prospective employers. Now that you know who FICO is, let's talk about the data that they're looking at and how much weight each item carries within your credit scores. The 5 components that go into your credit scores are your payment history, how much you owe, how long you've had credit, the type of credit you hold, and finally, how much new credit you have. Each of the components carry their own weight in determining your scores. Take a look at this handy-dandy chart. It shows you that 35% of your FICO scores are determined by your payment history. That's a huge chunk. The next big chunk comes from the amount that you owe, which is called your credit utilization ratio. This accounts for 30% of your FICO score. Now, I'm going to let you in on a little secret, but don't tell anyone. The key here is to never use more than 30% of your available credit. The magic number here is 30%. I tell folks that if they're aiming for a perfect score in this category, avoid using more than 10% of your total available credit. That may sound difficult, but there are things that you can actually do to make sure that each time a creditor sends your data to the credit agencies, your utilization ratio is low. Payment history and the amount you owe are a combined 65% of your FICO score. Hitting the mark in just these 2 components can drastically change your credit rating. The length of your credit history makes up 15% of your scores, and new credit and credit mix each make up 10% of your score. Now, that was a lot of information that we just covered, so take a moment to process. You've probably heard me using both score and scores, plural and singular form, at various points in this video. If I were listening, I'd ask what the deal is. We actually have multiple credit scores, and here are a few reasons why. FICO constantly updates their scoring models. One of the reasons they do this is to account for conditions in the market. Think back to 2008 to 2010. If you don't remember, that was the most recent economic downturn. There were millions of foreclosures and bankruptcies. All of those people instantly had bad credit. If everyone in the country has bad credit and no longer qualifies for loans, who's going to pay interest that lenders need to keep their doors open? Now, that's a prime reason to update the scoring model. Another reason is that they're industry-specific scores. For example, your score for an auto loan will more than likely be different than your score for a mortgage, and most definitely different than your score for an unsecured credit card. Why would that be? Well, when financial difficulties arise, people are more than likely to pay their mortgage than their unsecured credit card bill. Lenders purchased more than 10 billion FICO scores in 2013. I'm going to pause for a moment and let that register. Yes, 10 billion with a B. I want to leave you with a few parting thoughts. Ultimately, you have to learn the rules of the game if you're going to play to win. Bad credit doesn't mean that you're a bad person. I've had great credit with 21 credit cards and bad credit with 1 card and back to great credit with 3 cards. If your desire is to improve your credit, you absolutely can do that. If you're unable to move forward with some of your goals because of your credit, don't let that be the hindrance. You can build and restore your credit and achieve your financial goals. I hope you've found this video useful. You've just been equipped with some of the rules of this FICO game, and you're ready to play to win. If you or anyone you know is interested in restoring or improving their credit, give us a call at 813-693-2037 or send an email to credit@facingfinances.com. Stay tuned for our next video. We'll dive deeper into credit. Make sure you like, follow, and share with your networks. See y'all next time.